Everybody in the world been watching this interview right here, but y'all missed this interview right here. Mark Zuckerberg right now is building a $270 million doomsday bunker right now off the coast of Hawaii. Not only him, you gotta look at Kanye West trying to build one in Malibu. Ronda Rousey is building one right now. What y'all think really happened at that mall in Miami when they sent thousands of police out there to stop some teenagers from getting into it? I don't personally know. They say it was an alien site, and I'm not sure. Bill Gates is now the biggest private owner of farmland in the United States. Why he buying all of the farmland? I don't know. I'm just giving you the news that y'all miss because there's so much other stuff going on in the world with your T.D. Jakes and your Cat Williams and your Cedric the Entertainers and stuff like that. It's so much other stuff that we really got to worry about. Then, well, somebody stole somebody's joke or not. I'm going to tell y'all now. It's election year. It's the year of the election, the 2024, the year of the election. It's about to get crazy. I'm going to tell you that now, and that's the message. Bye.
So, guess who's broke and shutting their doors temporarily? The UN. That is correct. Let me just show you the article from Brussels Times. The UN temporarily closes Geneva headquarters due to lack of funds. Aww, poor UN. I know, aren't we all just so sad? I mean, my heart is breaking for those Epstein-type bureaucrats who basically, traffic children in Yugoslavia and women. And there was a whistleblower who came through, and then they changed their charges for human trafficking and lessened it to just violations, because you can't have the truth come out with the UN. But the funny part is, the UN is actually out of funds because it costs too much money to run the electricity in their buildings. So their own policies are basically shutting their own doors. Kind of like the entire liberal agenda that's kind of falling apart at the seams, don't you guys think? But it gets even better for the UN because Doug Porter of Canada decided to make a petition for Canada to pull out of the UN. Leslyn Lewis, who's a conservative member in the federal level government, decided to sponsor that petition. Now it's still going and it will be going, and I will have all of the links so you can sign the petition as well. And I know you guys are saying we're not making any difference, like everything is moving slow, but let me just show you this year's Davos meeting and what they want to achieve. So Klaus Schwab's little World Economic Forum annual meeting this year will be about rebuilding trust. Yeah, oh Schwabi. Are you realizing that we don't trust you? That we don't trust your little global leaders, such as Justin Trudeau? Yeah, there will be no trust to rebuild because we will never trust snakes and rats and parasites like yourself. And after we're done pretty much taking the UN down, we will come after the World Economic Forum because I do not feel like paying my Canadian pension plan into the World Economic Forum, which is, by the way, where our CPP is going. So, to my American friends, there are a bunch of petitions as well for the United States to pull out of the United Nations. Australia has already started something. New Zealand is about to follow suit. And a bunch of other countries in Europe want to do the same. So for everybody saying that we are not making enough progress, we are. It is just a really giant ship, and it takes some time to turn around a big ship like this. But we will do it, and we will achieve and succeed in our plans. Why? Because we are so sick and tired of these globalists not only telling us how to live, but what to put in our bodies. And the WHO has planned another extra 500 inoculations in the next near future for people to get in order to be fully healthy and immunized. But we've all seen how that went the last 2 years. So I said I was going to make good news, and this is definitely good news. So let me know what you guys think, and I will put the Canadian petition in all of my comment sections, and I will let also the Americans know where they can find their petitions.
Look at this, in the store. What a cool place. So you take the gold back here. Uh-huh. So this is very cool. A guy I met up in Provo, I believe it is. This is his business. This currency is being used in 5 different states. And he said even out here, it's being used. Obviously your store, it's beautiful.
Exchange rate is $4.08.
It just goes to the gold price?
When something happens, I will have backup and it will be tender. Will be legal tender.
So I believe there's actual gold in the currency.
Uh-huh.
There's like, yes. The actual gold is in there.
From what I understand,
yep.
That's how they determine a 1 or a 5 or a 20.
How much gold is in there?
In this when they tell us we can't use the paper money anymore, all we can use is a card.
I only operate on cash, and I've run into it numerous times where I can't buy stuff.
So you think there's that push to get us all in plastic and
yeah.
get rid of the paper eventually?
How many times this year and in the last 3 years have they said we're having a coin shortage? We have a coin shortage? No. You're just telling people that so they will not use coins and use their card because you can't get your change back. And cash goes to many other people.
That's how
card only goes to the bank.
And a lot of non-business owners don't understand when you use plastic, you as the owner or the store has to pay 3% or whatever. So the bank, JP Morgan or whoever, is making all that money. And if you get everyone.
Smart dust, and the new technology may soon make it possible to keep track of anything, anywhere, including you.
Smart dust originated with DARPA back in the 90s. This powder-sized chip is something called the Mu chip from Hitachi. It's the smallest commercially available RFID system in the world. You can literally scatter this stuff like dust or embed it into a sheet of paper. It doesn't require a battery. Flecks of computing power settling on your skin, ingested, monitoring you inside and out.
The nanoparticles are designed to go under the radar of the immune system, and so they are undetected in the body.
We have computing everywhere, we have connectivity everywhere, we have infrastructure that can compute those with new capabilities like AI.
If you have enough data and you have enough computing power, you can understand people better than they understand themselves, and then you can manipulate them in ways which were previously impossible.
Transhumanism is a growing movement that aims to use technology to modify our bodies, sometimes in radical ways to make them stronger, faster, and better.
Discovered natural gas off the coast of Gaza. The natural gas is spread over 1.4 trillion cubic feet.
Many months later,
geologists have confirmed that the West Bank is rich in high-quality oil and water supplies, while Gaza is rich in natural gas. The estimated cost of the occupation related to oil and natural gas is valued at $500 billion. Till now, Israel has successfully occupied and controlled water and oil resources. Currently, there are plans to develop Gaza's maritime gas field, as announced by Netanyahu in June 2023. Soon after declaring war against Hamas in October, Israel granted licenses to 6 companies for the development of the Gaza's gas field. Clearly, their aim is to become a net exporter of natural gas. However, the Palestinian people are seen as problematic to the proposed agenda, so Israel wants to take control over Gaza Strip in the name of self-defense against terrorism, and utilize Gaza's marine gas field, similar to what was done during the 2014 war. Some countries are supporting this genocide because they are major shareholders of the 6 involved companies, either directly or indirectly through relatives. The USA and the UK support Israel also because of companies like Boeing and British Aerospace, which provide arms to the Israeli forces used in Gaza. Countries not linked to these companies are supporting Israel due to the benefits that will be derived from the Ben Gurion Canal project.
Oh, whoa, listen to this. You won't believe this. Federal investigation is looking for at least $75 million in missing silver and gold from a Delaware warehouse, but it was actually First State Depository. It was a bank, basically. And you know what they did? They took gold and silver that seniors were putting away for safekeeping. And they thought, well, these are technically deposits, so I guess we can take their deposits and just invest it. Yeah, they just decided to take their gold and silver and gamble with it. Yeah, this is what banks all over the country are doing. They basically gamble with our money, and then when they lose, they go, man, things just didn't work out. I guess we need a bailout. Enough is enough. These people have lost their physical gold and silver. These seniors thought they were putting their trust in someone to protect their gold and silver. And what happens? It gets stolen. It gets taken. They literally, this is no joke. They put IOU notes in a plastic bag and said, oh, we took $1 million, we IOU, and wrote it down on a piece of paper. I'm not joking.
Good morning. You said we had 4 people die in custody in less than 5 months, and I believe it. But for some areas, believe it or not, that's a low estimate. For example, in Mississippi, they just found 215 bodies buried behind a jail in Jackson, Mississippi. And some of the relatives of those found behind the jail just thought that their family members were missing. That means the police knew that these people had been killed or killed them themselves and buried them behind the prison without actually notifying the family. Take Bernestine Wade, for example. She and her adult son had had an argument, and he left out of the house pissed off, like one does. Well, he never came home. So she went out looking for him. She contacted the police. She gave him his picture. She told him his name, his height, his weight, what he was wearing. She said, "Help me find my son." And for months, she looked everywhere for her son, couldn't find him. Well, come to find out, he had been killed by the police. And because they didn't want to do paperwork about reporting them killing somebody, they just buried him behind the prison. But what should we expect from an organization that has been trained to kill since the 1500s, but only turns in officer-involved shootings, officer-involved killings, officer-involved use of force on a voluntary basis? What should we expect from an organization who does that? I mean, it's not like we have another organization out there who's been collecting data trying to figure out just how many people are killed by the police each year.
Okay, this is Nico having a temper tantrum, getting ready for a show, and now she just said, "Why are you crying?" Nico, are you done? And this is what I go through every day, and people think I have a crying baby out here. I will show you, it's really just Nico. Nico, you are such a baby.